Hey everyone, so I'm going to quickly go over Tech Committee, the process, and what is expected. We really want to hear from every single teacher's voice, and the data really does help advocate for why we need to keep programs and what programs we're not using, so we need to get rid of. And so I'm just going to quickly go over it. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to fill out this Google Doc with your team. And in this area, please type everyone's name that is a part of your TBT team. Also, if you want to fill it out by building, you are more than welcome to. Just let me know that in the description. If not, you can fill this out with all of the sixth graders from all three middle schools or all the seventh grade teachers from both Lakeview and Ridgeview Junior High. So totally up to you how you fill this out. Just please list how you do fill it out. So if it is by just Tollgate teachers filling out, put just Tollgate so I know who the information is coming from. This is kind of the timeline that we're looking at. And so on the 17th, you're going to have a Google Meet with me and an overview, and you're going to have a whole month to fill out this Google Doc and Google form. So you'll have an entire month to work together, really reflect and process what information and how you're using your digital programs. On the 10th, you are going to pick somebody from your department to be the technology rep. And so they are going to come to a meeting on the 24th, just those selected members. And that meeting will be at 10 a.m. Then the month of April, me, David, and coaches, we work on different paperwork. We look at your data, we look at different feedback, and we compile all of that up to create a proposal on what we submit to Brian and Sabrina. So that will be May 1st. By the end of May, we know the budget and we know what programs we will be having for the next school year. So that will be communicated to you from me by email. So the first thing you could do is you could fill out a Google form. This Google form is going to be completed individually. I need the numbers of who's using what in the rating scales. So you're going to pick your subject, what grade you teach, and then you're going to evaluate on this rating scale if you like the program or if you hate it. You also, on the last page, will pick your top 3 programs. So you're going to pick what programs you use the most, so I can use that data to advocate if for some reason the budget was to be cut, to know which ones we must keep and which ones we're okay with kind of getting rid of. On the last page, you can feel free to add additional comments or feedback. Again, you don't need to, but this is in an individual form, so if you don't feel comfortable sharing something with your entire group, feel free to put it here. No judgment at all. And then on this, one person from your team, so maybe it's your coach, maybe it's your building leadership, maybe it's just someone random, they will go to File and then make a copy. And then they're going to share that with all of the team members and myself and make sure that it is allowed for anybody in Pickerington to view this document. Because I do have to share this document with the coaches and David while we're working through the process in this step. So please make sure you share it with me. I'm going to add this video clip that I'm making currently right here in case you need a recap or reminder of what information was shared. Over here, if you want to know the process is very outlined on this website. Again, we've been doing this for a couple years, so I know some teachers really do know the process. Newer teachers, feel free to look at this website. If you want to make a recommendation for a digital program that we currently do not have, you will need to fill out this Google form. And this Google form just kind of explains what it does, why we need it, if there's any other programs that we currently have that does a similar thing, how is it different, that kind of stuff. And then the process is right here, which the process is kind of outlined on our timeline right here, if you're curious about what it's going to look like for the middle schools and the junior highs. And then David and I and the coaches will fill out this rubric for every single program to make sure that it's good to go and it meets student privacy and helps students with disabilities and that kind of stuff. And then we have to work on proposals and answer these different questions. So that's why it does take so long, because we have to do this for every single question. And this is where your feedback comes into play. Then we have this chart. So on this chart, I've listed every single program that we have purchased. This does not include any free programs. And you're just simply going to answer the questions. What problem does this program solve in your classroom? And you'll just type. Again, this is why we shared it as a Google Doc, so that everybody can type. Maybe you split up into different groups and you're meeting in a breakout room, and different people are working on different programs, and then they're adding, taking away, depending on the program. We want to know, are there any flaws that are preventing the effective use of the program? Is there a program that did not work so many times? Were there issues with the filtering, like with Edpuzzle? Please list all of those different flaws so we can take that data and talk to the vendor before renewing a program to see if they're going to make improvements to it. Has there been training, and has it been appropriate? How well do you feel comfortable using these programs? If you don't feel comfortable using them, what training do you need? If you use a program, talk about how you use that program so your colleagues can start to hear different ways to use different programs. And then any additional comments will go in the last box. If you don't use a program, like ST Math is just 5th and 6th grade math, every other teacher should have this column blank. You do not need to write anything in it if you do not use the program. So you're going to do that for all the programs that you use. Down here, junior high only. So if you're middle school, you're not going to fill out this section. Edulastic, you're going to tell me the pros and cons compared to Illuminate. Then everyone, so that means every single person, is going to fill out this Google form with your name, department, grade, and then which one you would rather have, Edulastic or Illuminate. And then again, any additional comments, this is by individual, so you will not fill out this form by a team. And then right here, Alex and History Alive are just junior high programs, so we would just need feedback again on those. And then your final thoughts. So you're going to work as a department on these questions. What 3 programs do you want to keep for your department? So you're going to list 3 programs, and I'm going to also add the question why. So why do you want those 3 programs? And then I want you to talk with your department and decide who is going to be the technology rep for this school year. And that person is going to type this Google form. They're going to put their first and last name, what department they're representing, and then what grade. Spec Ed, please talk with your other teachers to decide who's going to be the rep from those departments, and same with EL. And then electives, let me know if you would like to be a part of it. I know some of your programs are bought through your own department funds. So again, just put, if you are elective, click elective, and then write in the other what elective you're representing. The next question deals with COVID. So what programs have you used during COVID, and will you continue to use those programs when we return back to what we call normal? And then if you will use it, will your usage change, and how will it look? So maybe you're using Edpuzzle and you don't plan on using it when we return. So just explain those different programs that you might not use and why you might not use them, or why you do want to keep using them because it maybe helped instruction. And a lot of people said Wiser on one of the reflection questions forms I've asked earlier this year. And so if you're using Wiser, you will maybe put Wiser, and then you might say, I plan to use this when we do return because it gives student, immediate feedback, or whatever reasons. And then your final step will be to take this link and you're going to give it to your students. So you're going to place this link in your Google Classroom and have students complete this survey. And they can leave comments, or they don't need to. The comments are optional, but it just takes them through each of the programs. And if they don't use a program, just have them skip that type of program and have them continue. But they just kind of rate it. So they would just say do not use, and then just continue on. Again, share this document with me, and then I will link all that data to this Google Doc. And this Google Doc will have everybody's link to their own Google Doc from their department. And then if you're curious or you want to see any of the data coming in, data will be available down here. So feel free if you want to look at any of that data. And then right here will be the technology reps for this school year. If you guys have any questions or concern, please let me know, and we can work through those different questions and concerns. Thanks for watching.